Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Witch on the Rocks. Today we are going to be talking about the Garnet family. And with the Garnet family, it is a large group, so I chose about, six of the main kinds of garnet to go over a little more in depth, but I am going to list off the variations as well. And we'll start with rhodolite is a pyrope variation. Then we have rosolite, hessonite, and tessavarite. They are all Groceria Garnet variations, with tessavarite being a green garnet. We also have demantoid, melanite, and schloromite. They are all andradite variations, with demantoid being another green garnet, and then melanite and schloromite, I am butchering that, being andradite or black garnets. There is also topazolite, which is another andradite variation as well. So we're going to start off more in depth with pyrope. Pyrope garnet is a magnesium aluminum silicate. It's at about a 7.5 on the most hardness scale, with a very virtuous luster. Now, pyrope can be found in many shades of reds, from like deep blood reds to an orange red or black red, purple reds. It can also be found colorless, and colorless garnet is very rare, and it's deemed as true garnet. It is a pure garnet in that sense. And pyrope forms in basic igneous rocks, and it's found in the Czech Republic, India, Tanzania, Sri Lanka, and other places. Now, with pyrope, it does always have inclusions of either Almadine and or Specificine Garnets as well in it, and it is in the isometric crystal system, as are all of the garnets we will be talking about today. It often has iron and magnesium or calcium impurities, which of course will change its color. Iron tends to make things a little more red. Metaphysically speaking, this is a stone of vitality, charisma, stabilizing. It's a very stabilizing, and it supports the heart. Reiki-wise, it neutralizes heartburn and protects your base and crown chakras. Carrying this stone with you helps you to see the bright side in dark situations. It helps dissolve all of your old negative emotions and makes way for new, more positive ones inside you. Now, another thing with all of the crystals that we were talking about today, they are all either dodecahedral or trapezoidal crystals. Yes, I do have a notebook in front of me. This was a lot to memorize. So, dodecahedral or trapezoidal crystals. I will try to do another video with my best artistic skills, trying to draw out what these mean in a 3D diagram. We'll see. I might have to find something on Google to help me out there. It's a lot of crystal systems to cover. So next we're going to talk about Groceria Garnets. This is a calcium aluminum silicate. With these ones, they are more prone to react to UV. They are also at a 7 to a 7.5 on the most hardness scale. Again, another virtuous luster on this one. This one can be found in yellow tones, green, white, again colorless, pink, red, orange, and brown. Again, another isometric crystal system with dodecahedral and trapezoidal crystals on it. This one has more impurities of iron, again creating that brown-red color, and then chromium is what can give it its green color. For metaphysically speaking, Groceria Garnets help you to take responsibility for your healing process. It really makes you think things through. I feel like this would be a very good stone if you're doing shadow work, because it'll help you get down to the nitty-gritty and help you really figure those things out. It's also helps you overcome your anxieties, especially about money or financial issues. This one is used on the base chakra to help open and cleanse. And it also teaches you about abundance, both physically and spiritually. Next is Specificine Garnets. Now this one is a magnesium aluminum silicate. Again, 6.5 to 7.5 on the most hardness scale, very virtuous luster. Another isometric crystal system, and dodecahedral or trapezohedral crystals, which is just the appearance of the crystals. This one can be found orange, reddish brown, plain red, brown, reddish orange, yellowish brown. Some more notable localities on this one are Germany, Sweden, Madagascar, the USA, Sri Lanka, and Brazil. And this is another one found in igneous and metamorphic rock. Metaphysically speaking, this one encourages optimism, confidence, and it helps you with creative blocks and helps you to overcome your fears. A very good one to have on hand, just in general, in any artistic area that you're going for. I mean, creative blocks and fears kind of fall into the same pattern there. At least for me, creatively speaking, they go hand in hand. So next is Euvorite, which is actually a grossular variation. This one is a calcium chromium silicate, 6.5 to 7.5 on the most hardness scale, very virtuous luster, isometric crystal system, dodecahedral and trapezohedral crystals on this one as well. This one is green or green-black, which is why I really wanted to mention it. I have never seen a green garnet before I started looking deeper into this crystal, let alone I didn't know how many variations of garnet there was. I mean, I was aware of hessonites, spessartines, and grossular garnets, but I didn't know it went really any deeper than that, which I was so amazed to find out about, like euvorite and melitine, the black garnets, the green garnets, and they are really pretty. I'm actually in the process of trying to get my hands on some because they're stunning. They look like green jelly. I mean, I've seen some really pretty colored fluorites and, other green stones as well, but I have never seen anything like euvorite, and I need some in my collection. This one doesn't typically have very many impurities. That's why it's just green or green-black. And this one is found in Poland, South Africa, India, Canada, the USA, and Russia, for notable localities at least. Metaphysically speaking, this one promotes individuality. It stimulates the heart chakra and helps experience solitude without that feeling of being lonely. It teaches you don't need to struggle for abundance. Again, both physically, spiritually, however you want to look at it. Following euvorite, we have andradite, and this is a calcium iron silicate, another one that is 6.5 to 7.5 on the most hardness scale, very virtuous luster, isometric crystal system, and dodecahedral and trapezohedral. Well, actually, no. This one just has dodecahedral crystals. Blech. There's a lot of big words to spit out at once. This one can be found in browns, red browns, bronze, orange, yellow, greens, brown greens, and even black. For notable localities on this one, I have Russia, Japan, Canada, Switzerland, and Austria. Metaphysically speaking, this is a great stone for self-empowerment. It's an energy purifier, prevents nightmares, physical and psychic attacks. And it really helps to ground you and stimulates your creativity. So yeah, lastly, for the garnet family, I have Almadine. And this is an iron aluminum silicate. It's at a 7 to a 7.5 on the Mohs hardness scale. This one is virtuous as well, but it can also be resinous, similar to like amber. So, isometric crystal system, dodecahedral and trapezohedral crystals again on this one, with localities in Germany, Sweden, Russia, Sri Lanka, India, Afghanistan, the USA, and Brazil. This one comes in colors of deep reds, brown reds, red violet, and black as well. So this one is also found in igneous and metamorphic rock, or also sedimentary rock. So a fun fact I found about Almadine is it's paramagnetic, which means when it's heated up, it can become magnetic. I didn't know that any of the garnets could do this, so that was something I seen in my studies that I really wanted to share with everybody because I did not know that. Metaphysically speaking, this one helps you to release panic, fear, your worries, anxiety, especially, again, around financial issues. It helps you in finding joy and supports in taking time for yourself. Now, I've gone over all the metaphysical. With it being January, I did want to touch base on the zodiac of the month. Kind of. I'm going to be talking about the Aquarius zodiac, and this is from January 20th to February 18th. So the symbol for the Aquarius is running waters. Depending on how you look at its constellation in the sky and even some tarot cards, this one is associated with a woman pouring water into like a running river or some form of water, signifying that without giving, you can't receive, in a sense, if that makes any sense. Because, I mean, without water, we'd have nothing. So it is a very essential life form. And in some of these legends, lores, or pictures, however you want to look at it, the woman is standing in the water, being part of it, giving to become. Yeah. So a few things about Aquarius is its planet is Uranus, and its element is air. Transpersonally speaking, or no, not transpersonally speaking, Uranus is a transpersonal planet. And since it is so far away, it doesn't affect us in similar ways that Mercury or Venus would go in, which also means, like, if it were to go retrograde, it's not going to have as much of an effect on us as it would other planets. That being said, though, if it was in your birth chart, it could have a greater effect on you, as with any of the planets and any of the signs. I could go on, but I don't want to spoil too much of further episodes that shall include some astrology in them as well. It's one of my favorites to talk about. I can go for days. So if you have an Aquarius sun sign, first of all, your sun sign is your personality, your vitality, and your ego needs. So if it is in your sun sign, it has to do with creativity. It means you could be more inventive, problem solving, and it also can mean that you're socially awkward. Now, Aquarius sun signs tend to find their purpose or their meaning later on in life. Now, your sun sign is basically the zodiac that everybody knows. It's what you're known as. Your moon and your rising signs, you would have to do a more in-depth birth chart. But if you happen to know your moon and your rising sign, if Aquarius is in your moon sign, it could mean you prefer space and solitude. You get socially anxious, and it could mean you're also less emotional. And then your moon side is your emotional state. Uh, Rising sign. If you have an Aquarius rising, first of all, your rising is how you appear to others, what others think of you or see you as. Now, in the rising side, Aquarius people seem to be a bit more brainy. They're progressive and they're interesting. They're forward thinkers. Very on to the next thing. Very progressive. There we go. That's the word I want. Now, it is believed that every zodiac has a hidden power and a hidden challenge. For Aquarius, their hidden superpower is they know the future. Their biggest challenge is living in the now. So the way I interpreted that is you're so focused on going forward and what's going to happen next. You just got to remember to live in the moment and do the now before you can move on. So that is all I have for you guys today. Stay safe, do something that makes your soul happy, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.